Gia, okay, this is going to sound random, but I had one song stuck in my head the whole drive over, and I genuinely couldn't tell you why it still gets to me after all these years.
Oh, I know that feeling so well. There's always that one song that just kind of lives in your head rent-free, right?
Exactly that, so let's just run with it. Tell me about a song that actually means something to you. Okay, so what's the song? Don't overthink it, just the first one that comes to mind.
Honestly, it's Yesterday by the Beatles. I know, so predictable. But there's a reason. My dad used to play it on this old record player every Sunday morning when I was a kid.
Wait, an actual record player, like vinyl.
Yeah, and funny enough, I bought the record myself last year. There's this whole vinyl thing happening again. People my age buying records even without a turntable, just for the ritual of it. But for me, it's the sound. The second the needle drops, it just takes me right back. I'm 7 years old again, in pajamas, watching my dad make coffee.
Hold on, I have to flag that one. Takes me right back. That's so much more alive than it reminds me of my childhood. Examiners pick up on idioms that land that naturally. Okay, sorry, keep going.
Okay. So the funny thing is, as a kid I didn't even like it. It felt slow, kind of sad. But over the years it just grew on me, and now I genuinely can't imagine it not being my favorite.
See, that's the interesting part. You didn't like it at first. What changed?
I think I just got old enough to understand what he was singing about: loss, missing someone. When I moved out for university, I had it on repeat for like a month straight. It was honestly the only thing that made the empty apartment feel less empty.
Quick one, on repeat, tiny phrase, totally native. Most people say I listen to it many times, which is flat. On repeat does the same job in 2 words. We'll come back to it. Go on.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, I still can't fully explain why this song and not another one. My friends all have way cooler taste than me. For the longest time, I couldn't put my finger on it.
And now, have you finally put your finger on it?
Kind of maybe. I think it's not really about the song at all. It's about who I was when I heard it and who my dad was back then. He's older now. His hands shake a little when he holds the record. So every time the song plays, it's like I get this little window back into a version of him that doesn't exist anymore, and a version of me that didn't worry about anything yet. I don't think any song I discover now could ever do that, because you can't manufacture that kind of memory. It just has to happen to you.
That's genuinely beautifully put.
Sorry, that got deep really fast. I didn't mean to make it sad.
No, that's exactly the kind of depth examiners are waiting for. You took a simple question and made it genuinely personal. That right there is a band 7 and up move. Okay, one more. Do you listen to it the same way now?
Not really. When I was younger, it was just background. Now it's intentional. I'll actually sit down, put the record on, no phone, and just listen. I think that's partly why the whole vinyl revival appeals to me. Streaming is so easy you barely notice what's even playing.
Do you think people lose something with how easy music is to get now?
In some ways, yeah. I mean, it's amazing that I can pull up any song in 2 seconds. But I'd say we listen more and hear less now, if that makes sense. We skip everything. My dad's generation would buy one album and just live with it for a whole year.
Listen more and hear less. That's a brilliant line. Did you come up with that?
I think I read something like it somewhere. But it stuck with me because it's so true for me, you know.
Do you think the songs that mean the most are always tied to a person, like yours is?
Mostly, I think, or a moment. I've got a different song tied to my first heartbreak, and one tied to a trip to the coast with friends. It's never really about whether the music is technically good. It's about what was happening in your life when it found you.
When it found you, I love that you keep flipping it so the song does the action, not you. That's a really sophisticated little habit. Examiners notice it without even knowing why.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice I was doing that, honestly.
That's the best kind when it's automatic. Okay, that was a gorgeous chat. Can we zoom in on a few things you said, because there's genuinely gold in there. All right, nice work there, Gia. Before we wrap up, let's go back and look at a few of the expressions you used. I want you to really lock these in.
Yes, please. I'd love to get these down properly.
First up, takes me right back. Gia, in your own words, what do you think that one's actually doing?
I guess it just means something reminds you of the past. Like, it makes you remember an old time.
Close, but it's stronger than remember. Remember is something you do on purpose. Takes me right back is involuntary. The memory grabs you, you don't reach for it. The song does the work.
Oh, got it. So it's not me deciding to remember. It's the song dragging me there whether I want it or not.
Exactly, and you used it beautifully. You said, quote, the second the needle drops, it just takes me right back. A specific trigger, then the idiom. That's the whole recipe.
Yeah, that one honestly just came out. I wasn't thinking about it as a phrase at all.
That's the dream. Here's the lift. Most candidates say it reminds me of my childhood. Grammatically fine, but flat. Takes me right back, has motion and feeling baked in, instantly higher range.
So I should always tie it to something I can actually see or hear, not just say it about a feeling.
Right, that's the rule. Anchor it to a concrete trigger, a smell, a song, a place. Without the trigger it floats. Try this one. The smell of rain takes me right back to my grandmother's garden.
The smell of rain takes me right back to my grandmother's garden.
Perfect, that's yours now. Next one, grew on me. What's your read on it, Gia?
I think it means you start to like something more and more over time, even if you didn't like it before.
Spot on, and notice the key part you nailed. Even if you didn't like it before, that setup is essential. If you loved it instantly, the phrase doesn't fit.
Oh, interesting. So there has to be that bit where I actually resisted it first, otherwise it sounds wrong.
Exactly, there needs to be resistance, then a slow turn, and you set it up perfectly. You said, quote, as a kid I didn't even like it, but over the years it just grew on me. Textbook.
Yeah, that was honestly true. I really did think it was boring when I was little.
And here's the lift. Most people would say gradually I started to like it more and more. Correct, but clunky. It grew on me, does it in 3 words, and the song becomes the subject. That's the bit Korean learners almost never reach on their own.
So the trick is letting the thing itself do the action, not me like the song grew, instead of me slowly liking it.
That's the whole move. Bank this rep. I wasn't sure about the city at first, but it really grew on me.
I wasn't sure about the city at first, but it really grew on me.
Lovely, carry that one with you. Now a small one with a big payoff. On repeat. Gia, what does it mean to you?
I think it just means playing the same song again and again, like nonstop, because you love it.
That's it exactly, and the beauty is how little it costs you. 2 words. Compare it to the long version most people reach for. I listened to it many, many times.
Yeah, that's literally what I used to say in practice, many, many times. It always felt a bit clumsy coming out.
Because it is, and you swapped it cleanly. You said, quote, I had it on repeat for like a month straight. Natural, casual, native.
Good, so I can basically just retire, many, many times, and use this instead whenever I'm talking about a song.
For songs, shows, a phrase you keep replaying, yes. One caution, keep it to media. I have salad on repeat sounds odd. For habits, you'd say something else.
Got it, so it's really for the stuff I keep pressing play on, not for everyday routines.
Exactly right, here's your rep. I had that one track on repeat for the whole flight.
I had that one track on repeat for the whole flight.
Perfect, tiny phrase, instant upgrade. Last one, and it's a favorite of mine. Couldn't put my finger on it. What do you reckon it means, Gia?
I think it's when you feel something, but you can't really explain what it is exactly. Like you know it's there, but you can't name it.
That's exactly it. You sense it clearly, you just can't pin down what it is. And notice, it almost always lives in the negative. Couldn't, can't.
Oh, so I shouldn't really say, I put my finger on it in the positive. That feels like the obvious thing to try.
Right, the positive is rare and sounds forced. Stay with the version that admits you can't name it. That's where it shines. You said, quote, "For the longest time I couldn't put my finger on it." Perfect placement.
Yeah, and honestly, it bought me a second to think. I didn't have to pretend. I had a neat answer right away.
And that's the hidden gift. Here's the lift. Most candidates freeze or pile on how do you say. This idiom turns being stuck into something that sounds reflective and native. Examiners love that composure.
So instead of panicking when I can't explain a feeling, I can actually lean on this phrase and it works for me, not against me.
Exactly, make it your safety net. Bank this rep. Something felt off about the room, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
Something felt off about the room, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
Beautiful, that one's a lifesaver. Keep it close.
Kind of maybe. I think it's not really about the song at all. It's about who I was when I heard it and who my dad was back then. He's older now. His hands shake a little when he holds the record. So every time the song plays, it's like I get this little window back into a version of him that doesn't exist anymore, and a version of me that didn't worry about anything yet. I don't think any song I discover now could ever do that, because you can't manufacture that kind of memory. It just has to happen to you. Kind of maybe. I think it's not really about the song at all. It's about who I was when I heard it and who my dad was back then. He's older now. His hands shake a little when he holds the record. So every time the song plays, it's like I get this little window back into a version of him that doesn't exist anymore, and a version of me that didn't worry about anything yet. I don't think any song I discover now could ever do that, because you can't manufacture that kind of memory. It just has to happen to you.